Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is CJ. I'm bringing you guys an update on the Reef tank. Just gonna be covering how I seeded my tank and a few adjustments I made to my auto top off and my sump. But as you can see, tank's still running good. It's not as crystal as it was. I removed all that extra polish and filter floss from my sump, but it's still pretty clear. Yeah, I did go ahead and check my parameters on my tank. Just wanted to get an idea of where I was at, before this really got rolling. My ammonia, 1 parts per million. Nitrites undetectable, that's to be expected. And I went ahead and checked my pH and phosphates just out of curiosity. pH was perfect, 8.3. And my phosphates almost undetectable, so that's a great start as far as cycling my tank. Yeah, I picked these up from the local fish store. He actually pulled this Cheeto right over his sump for me. Just like $5. So I mean, you can't beat that. It's nice, lush, and healthy, and it should help out with my nitrate removal and my phosphates. I'm not gonna have a reactor. I'm trying to avoid having one if I can. So we'll see how this turns out. And then the live rock, just stuck it in an airtight bag. Try to keep as much moisture as we could inside of it. But as you can see, it got the coralline algae on it. Came from an established tank. As far as what I could see, it looks like it had been in there for a few months. It was actually one of the display tanks, so that's even better. Hopefully it has all the good life on it and inside of it that I'm looking for. And it should help kick off my cycle. Anything that dies gives off ammonia. So that'll be a good food source for the bacteria in my tank. At least that's the plan.
Yeah, word of advice for anyone new to reefing like me: don't just throw stuff in your tank, at least without checking it first. It's looked good when I first threw it in there, me not knowing any better. But after an hour, looked down in there and I seen at least 10 or 15 of these little anemones. I thought, they were pretty cool until I did some research and found out that there were glass anemones, which are also pests for a reef tank. So I made it a mission to try to catch every one of them. Pretty much removed all my Cheeto, and in an effort to kill them, I went ahead and put it in a bucket of fresh tap water. Now it killed all the good life that was on here, but I'd rather get rid of everything and then have some Cheeto that's pest free. Now I did have to make a few changes to my sump. One being the skimmer. The micro bubbles from my skimmer were making it through my bubble trap, so I had to turn it around the other way, have the output facing away from the bubble trap. It gave a lot more time for the bubbles to dissipate, and appeared to solve my problem so far. Another issue I had was with the aqua lifter. The flow rate was way too low to reach the display tank, so I ended up running around the other way into the back of the return area. Now I try to do it in a way to where the tubing was still higher than the reservoir tank, so I didn't have any issues with siphoning, and it actually worked out pretty good. And as far as the flow rate, I say it increased about 5 times as much. I did some calculations. Now I can try to go through it, but I can show you, a little bit of dividing, a little bit of multiplying. But basically, long story short, I ended up getting my pump to almost give the maximum flow. It's rated at 3.5 gallons an hour. According to my calculations, I'm getting 3.1 gallons per hour, so that's a lot more efficient. Now, in an effort to kind of keep water from splattering all over my plugs and keeping the light from bleeding out of the back of this stand, I just took some basic rubber drawer liner that you would use in your kitchen, taped it up, kind of treated it like a curtain that I can move, and it happened to do the trick. Catches a lot of the light and hopefully will help protect my plugs. All right, finally got my Refugium area done. Put the Cheeto back in after cleaning it out real good, getting all the dead stuff out, and added the remaining live rock I had and the remaining base rock kind of down in here, just kind of threw it around. I figured I might as well keep it, let it mature instead of just throwing it away. And then in the display tank, the live rock I put in there, coralline algae on it. I expecting this to die off, but whatever helps the cycle go, that's pretty much the plan. One way I'm going to help my tank cycle is making sure I got plenty of circulation going, and I'm getting that done with 2 of the Aqueon power heads. I'm pointing them at the outside glass, try to prevent any sandstorms from happening. Gives me a nice circular motion in the tank. That larger grain aragonite sand I was using does a pretty good job of staying on the bottom for me. And as far as the return nozzle, That's doing a good job as far as breaking my my surface for surface agitation. It's flowing against the normal direction of the tank, so it kind of creates some random areas of flow as well. I know that's good to have with corals. Another good thing, I'm getting a high turnover in this tank. I know you're supposed to have at least 20 times turnover. I'm getting 31, so that should allow me a wide range of corals I can keep, from softy, LPS, maybe even a few SPS, when I get enough nerve to try it. But just want to keep the video, short as possible. If I missed any details or any of your concerns, drop them down in the comments below. As always, like, comment, subscribe, do what y'all do. Be easy.